What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today I'm gonna have kind of just a discussion video about a series that I had made a first impressions on earlier, and just talking about how much I've enjoyed it since then. And it's just gonna be similar to my manga video that I made a while back, and that series is going to be Kuroko's Basketball. At the end of the first impressions that I did, I said that I'll probably make a video further into the series saying whether it's let me down a bit or whether it's kind of kept the consistency of how good it was, and it hasn't done either of those. It's just gotten better and better, to be honest. And it's a series that I really want to make a video on after every volume I read, because it's just getting so fantastic. I read volume 3 and I was like, it keeps its consistency, gets even better, but I wanted to give it a bit of time to make sure that it wasn't just those couple of volumes that were really good. And now I'm on volume 7 and it's still that good. So although this is still reasonably early doors for a 30 volume series, I really do think that this is destined to become one of my favourite manga. Right now I'd say it's 4th or 5th, and fastly approaching up to Naruto Promised Neverland and My Hero in the first 3 spots. So I just really wanted to make another video on it. I think, but before talking about Kuroko in particular, I just want to touch on sports manga in general. I was saying in my first impression for this series that sports manga kind of get me and capture me in a way, and like my kind of feelings and stuff in a way that no other sub genre inside of shonen can do. And I still hold to that. I don't know what it is about it, but when I'm reading sports manga, everything feels a lot different and a lot more intense. And I don't know what it is about that, because I could be watching or reading a life-threatening massive fight in a manga, and it will hype me up and it will get me really excited and worried for the characters. When I'm reading the match in Kuroko, it's just completely different and so much more intense, and I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm such a big fan of sports in general that make it like that, but I do still hold to my words that sports is probably my favourite subgenre inside of shonen itself. So Kuroko's Basketball just kind of solidified that in my head. And although Haikyuu, I've watched the first season or 2 of Haikyuu, it hasn't captured me as much as Kuroko, and maybe a reason for that is just because I prefer basketball as a sport. Although my favourite sport being football and soccer, or football/soccer, obviously outside of America and in the UK where I live, it's called football. But there's not really too many apart from Whistle manga series surrounded around that sport, so I thought that I'd get into Kuroko's Basketball, and it's definitely surprised me a lot. I don't actually think any other sports series is going to just be better than this. And I know that Kuroko's Basketball is probably one of the lesser rated sports series that are released by Viz. Not because it's bad, but simply because there are such amazing series like Haikyuu and Slam Dunk, which are higher rated than it. But for me, right now, although I haven't read Slam Dunk, this is top of the list for sports series for me. And I'll just get straight into it and discuss about Kuroko itself. So I'll kind of touch less on volumes 1 and 2 simply because I talked about in the first impressions, and I will be having a few mild spoilers here and there, so if you haven't read up to volume 7, then just be wary of that. I mean, I won't go into heavy detail on it, but I'll probably be reading a few mild stuff here and there, so just be wary. So I'll just get straight into it. Now, the first thing that I really like about it, something that I mentioned in the first impressions, is how they are focusing on the miracle generation, as well as our school here. I think it's pronounced Saren. So they are focusing on our students and our players here, but they also focus on the miracle generation. And I like how once they introduce one miracle generation and their team, they don't kind of just go past them even if they beat them and forget about them. You always see the main 2 characters at the beginning of the miracle generation, Kisei and Midorama. You see them at the beginning, these 2, and they're kind of in it a lot, and they're not really forgotten about. So I think that's kind of cool, and I like that. I like how characters who are so amazing with such great skills aren't just tossed aside just because they've been beaten, and they're ready to come back strong and willing to get their revenge on Siren if they've beaten them. So that's something that I got aboard the manga for, because in most sports series if a character meets somebody from their past, they'll take him down and that'll be it. But with Kuroko, as well as Kuroko himself, all the Miracle Generation have improved from when he last knew them, and they're still looking to improve. So I think that's really cool, and I like how such great and skillful players haven't just been tossed aside. And as for a protagonist himself, Kuroko, I think, is the best kind of protagonist he could have got. I think he's the best person for the Miracle Generation to be the manga's protagonist, because I'd say he's the weakest from the Miracle Generation from who I've met so far, and he definitely has the most room to improve, and I'm really excited to see when he finally finds his new form how much better he gets, and just I want to be happy for him and with good results and stuff, because stuff that happens in Volume 6 and a bit of 7 kind of makes the series a bit more depressing, so that's something I'll touch on later. But Kuroko, the main character, is fantastic, and his character progression is really good. He starts off as kind of a character you think is really chill and calm, is just really good at basketball, but as the series progresses he becomes weaker as you meet people that are just better than him in terms of quality. But not only that, but you also see his own weaknesses and faults within himself that he needs to change, which play a part with his character. And the bit where he sees Kagami punch the wall and he kind of does it afterwards kind of just shows how inside he's experiencing pain and stuff, because he doesn't feel like he's good enough, and I thought that was really cool. And a lovely little touch that I don't know, he just seems kind of emotionless when you meet him at first, but he definitely has real emotion and anger and stuff, which you don't really see a lot. But it does come up, and the more it comes up further in the series, it just kind of, it's interesting and better. I think I like Kuroko as a character who wants to push himself and progress himself. So as you get further into the story, Kuroko definitely takes center spot and becomes more of a figurehead. So that's pretty cool. And one thing I had to applaud is the art as well in this series. When Miracle Generation are doing their stuff, making shots, plays, runs and stuff like that, the art is just fantastic. This is probably my favourite double page spread in manga. When Kuroko doing his I forgot what it's called, where he like hits the ball just with the palm of his fist. It's fantastic art. The rings and stuff are just, everything about this is fantastic, and I just really like just the general art for the manga, and whenever like matches are going on, the art definitely improves from just the general one, which is something I said in the first impressions, and I definitely hold to it now. But the art side, there are many fantastic things about the manga in general. But the art is fantastic, but I like it the most when characters are making really good shots, like when Midorama, I'm not quite sure I'd say it, was making like full court and half court shots. It was just really sick to see them kind of dunk in and stuff, or swish, sorry. But yeah, just the art in general was really good. I like the characters, I like everybody on the team. I think they're all really likeable characters with very unique personalities and stuff, which I think is really cool. I don't like kind of be the same copy and paste person outside of the main two. They all definitely have their own personalities, and I think the brand new character is introduced just in time after kind of like a down in the series. So that's kind of what I'll talk about next. It's just the story wise, I really like watching them in their tournament and how much they've grown. And then obviously in every single manga, sports manga, you always have the part where your team loses, and that obviously happens here in Kuroko's Basketball Volume 6, where they've come up against one of the Miracle Generation, I'm not quite sure I'd say Amone or something like that. They come up against him and they get destroyed because he's just that amazing, and he's probably one of my favourite characters, second or third favourite character in the series, just with how he plays basketball. The only different thing is his attitude. I think that's definitely going to change as the manga progresses, so that's pretty cool. And in Volume 8 they go and watch their match at Inter High, so I'm looking forward to that. But just everything about these first couple of volumes story wise is fantastic. The progression of the plot moves perfectly fast. out and is well paced. I like when really important matches take a volume because I just think that it's necessary. I don't want big matches to be rushed, and I hope the very last match in the series is like a 2-3 volume thing, just because I think it'll be really cool. But I think one volume is good to cover a single important match. But I don't want to be talking for too long about it because I'll probably make another video when I get to volume 17 and 18, around that area. Between 16 and 20 I'll probably make another video kind of saying again whether Kuroko has continued to grow or whether the expectations have been kind of stopped at this point. But if they had stopped here and the series continues and ends like this, it would definitely be up there in top 5 manga because it's so enjoyable, so fun. And another little thing I wanted to touch on, just outside of the basketball playing, is just this volume here, 7, because it's such a different volume for a sports series, something I didn't expect. Firstly, you meet your new character in somebody that's been away and injured for a year or so, and he's quite good. But what's cool about this volume is just a lot of stuff kind of happens, but they're not really basketball related. Like they grow just as people and although they train, it's mostly just them kind of mentally growing as characters, which I think is kind of important for a sports series, not just to focus on your physical aspect, but what you can do mentally and your own mental prohibitions as a person and being able to play your sport. It's kind of something they work on here. But what is the main thing in this volume is just the comedy. I think this is hilarious. It's one of the only other manga I've laughed out loud at, other than maybe Kaguya-sama, and there were a few funny parts in Naruto, Soul Eater. Those are the kind of stuff that I've actually laughed at in really funny moments, and it was the same here for this volume. It was a nice little break after they'd lost, to kind of escape the reality of that loss, and instead focus on kind of some more cheerful and fun stuff, and that's where I am right now in the series, volume 7. So I'll probably make a video again 10 volumes later talking about what I thought. But this is just a fantastic manga in general, and I cannot wait to read more of it. Unfortunately, I've only got up to volume 10, so that's what I'm going to be able to read for now, and then I'm just going to have to buy more. But like I said, top 5 manga, and if Slam Dunk is even better than this, then I cannot wait for that. But I kind of like, what I like about this is, as opposed to Slam Dunk, is Slam Dunk's about the character starting off as a bad basketballer and getting better, whereas it starts off with good players who have fantastic abilities, who still need room to grow, and they beat their matches and their prohibitions. As opposed to them just being fantastic throughout the series, there are limitations to their power, Kuroko especially, and them finding out how to conquer and work on them is what is so fun and enjoyable about watching them play. And coupled with the fantastic artwork in the manga when they're playing in the matches, especially through the Miracle Generation's big kind of shining moments, make just reading the matches so fantastic. And I think that the mangaka for this has done a fantastic job of being able to capture what is difficult in a free-flowing basketball game to paper. So kudos to him for that. Fantastic manga, and I definitely recommend to pick up if you haven't completed at 15 2-in-1s. So yeah, other than that, have a great day and peace.